As President Volodymyr Zelensky prepares for a key visit to Germany, Russia is sharply escalating its strikes across Ukraine, intensifying pressure just as diplomacy tries to gain traction. Russian drones and missiles are now hitting energy, port, and civilian targets across multiple regions, even as peace talks remain stalled and uncertainty over deal grows. Russian drone strikes hit both Dnipro and Nikopol on December 12, injuring 2 civilians and underscoring how frontline and rural area cities alike remain under threat. In Dnipro, a UAV slammed into an empty building, sparking a fire and destroying a parked car nearby, showing how even non-military structures are being hit. In Nikopol, a drone struck a minibus, setting it ablaze and severely injuring 2 men, according to United 24's reporting from the scene. Russian strikes also battered the Mykolaiv region, damaging power grids and transport links that are vital for both civilians and the war effort. Officials said 5 people were injured in these attacks, including a 16-year-old girl, highlighting the toll on younger civilians as winter closes in. 3 of the victims were taken to hospital in serious condition, while critical infrastructure had to switch over to backup generators to stay online. Fires broke out at energy facilities and textile warehouses, with damage spreading to nearby homes and vehicles as the blazes intensified. More than 100 firefighters were deployed by the State Emergency Service to contain the damage and prevent further spread of the fires. That same night, Russia launched a massive strike on critical and civilian sites in the Odesa region, targeting both power assets and maritime infrastructure. At least 4 people were injured as fires tore through energy facilities and a civilian vessel in port, adding to the human and economic cost. Local military chief Serhiy Lysak warned that most of the city was left without heat and water supply, just as temperatures continue to drop. Lysak added that all tram and trolleybus services had to be halted after all traction substations lost power in the strikes. Deputy Prime Minister Alexei Kuleba said Odesa's port was hit yet again, with grain silos set ablaze in an attack that also threatens global food routes. Kuleba noted that Russia used a combination of drones and ballistic missiles to hammer 2 Black Sea ports in rapid succession. A Turkish-owned vessel, the ferry Cenk T, reportedly caught fire after being struck by an Iskander missile, drawing Ankara directly into the fallout. Ukraine's envoy to Turkey said President Recep Tayyip Erdogan was personally urging Vladimir Putin to stop strikes on energy infrastructure and ports. On December 13, Zelensky said Russia's latest wave of attacks damaged more than a dozen civilian facilities across the country in a single night. He accused Moscow of intentionally crippling heating, power, and water systems as winter returns, turning basic services into tools of war. Ukrainian officials say Russia is weaponizing winter to pressure both civilians and political leaders into accepting unfavorable terms. Zelensky will travel to Germany on December 15, as European partners try to steer US-led talks toward a viable peace framework. Washington is pushing hard for a negotiated deal, even as Donald Trump reportedly grows exasperated with the slow progress and continued fighting. The biggest unresolved obstacle remains who controls the Ukrainian territory of Donbass if a truce is eventually signed. As diplomacy inches forward, Russia's escalating drone strikes and induced blackouts appear aimed at hardening the terms on the ground before any agreement is reached.